Oh, is that how we
That's how we start, man.
You clap yourself.
You just clap it in, yeah.
Yay.
Anyway, welcome to Cork in the North. New episode this week. We've a foreigner. International, man. He's from England and he's up here on the Falls Road, and I took him for a little spin. He wore a green jacket just to fit in as well.
Ooh.
That's what he did. It's your first time. So I took him on a tour of the Falls in a Shankill. This is comedian Brennan Reece, good friend of mine. We kind of started out maybe a year or two apart or something.
Yeah.
In England. And we see each other every so often. But I think it was just after the pandemic. We kind of, you might see you fucking 3 times in a month, then I might see you for a year.
Yeah.
That's comedy, right? But he's over in Belfast doing the Empire Comedy Club. The last time you were here when you were 16, and I picked him up at the airport because I'm just that kind of guy.
It's because you wrote me into doing this.
I did write you into doing this. I said, you're doing a gig, you're doing a fucking podcast.
Straight off the plane.
He's literally just off the plane, and then he's arrived and he's wearing green, which is lovely. But Brendan, you're very welcome to Belfast.
It's great. So what I've seen so far.
So what have you seen so far, Brennan?
It's a game of two halves. What I've seen. It's very intense.
Very intense. I've taken it to the Falls and the Shankill just to make him show what you've done to us. Sorry, not what you've done to us.
No, it's my dad.
His dad. Yeah. No, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so rich in history, because if you get to like Manchester, and you live there for a bit, you just sort of get there and you go, oh, it's got a top man. Here it's got history. You're like, oh, it's got a Argos. Like, it's got nothing really.
Yeah, and I think you were a bit surprised with the murals on the wall and the paintings on the walls and the artwork.
Yeah, because I've seen them, but I didn't know they'd still be there. Yeah. Like, I've seen them obviously back in the day in textbooks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you see them proper big, you're like, someone's very good at painting.
Someone's very good. I really need a war. Make a bit of money painting. But that's the thing, though. Like, it's a really interesting place to be in Belfast. Now, the last time you were here, you were 16.
Yeah, so nearly 20 years ago.
20 years ago, right? So if I was to say the word Belfast to you, and what's the first thing that kind of comes into your head?
Do you know what it is? The Odyssey. Is that still a thing?
The Odyssey?
The Belfast Odyssey. It was this huge arena type.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was brand new.
Oh, right, okay.
And it was like, oh, they do like roller skating maybe, or there's bowling. And I was like, I've never seen a place like this in my life.
Right.
That's what I associate.
That's really good that's what you associate it with, rather than the political side.
I mean, that's just me being an ignorant English person, isn't it? I'm like, you can go bowling in Ireland. I didn't know you had it.
We also have roads, Brennan.
Well, do you say that?
Roads.
We went on some roads.
We've got electricity.
No. But before, on the way here,
okay,
we went on nice roads, and then suddenly it became like a level on GTA. It was
We came the back road because of the traffic, and I at one point was driving to such a country road. We were just chatting in the car, and I did say to you, "Hey, this is the back road, Brendan, right? This isn't the main road because of the traffic."
I love how you got a bit worried that I think that bit would be the shit bit, and you went, "Oh look, this road's a bit rough," and then you took me to the bit, and I was like, yeah, that road wasn't the issue. There's a big fence.
Yeah, I took him to the Peace Wall, drove him around, took him down the Falls, down to Shankill. That's great. It's great to see it.
Do you know the thing with the Peace Wall? Not that peaceful, is it?
No, there was a few kids hanging around.
Yeah. And they were about 5, and I shit myself.
Well, that's what I love. I love taking people on the trips, because Esther Minito, comedian, she was over here recently and she couldn't get a taxi. I wonder why. Which company that we've not mentioned on this podcast before, but taxis should add value to the city. Now, you may not get that reference, but nor our listeners will, our viewers, our listeners will. But she couldn't get a taxi, so she rang me and asked her to pick her up. So I took her for a tour. Great. I'm literally bringing British comedians on tours of Shankill and the Falls.
You're like one of those red buses that drive around the centre.
I'm like, at the end of this, I want 20 quid off you for all the petrol.
Is this part of the tour?
This is part of the tour that you got to come on the podcast.
Because I remember when I went to Thailand about 7 years ago for a wedding, and I went a week before I got there, and there's people going, I'll give you a tour. I'm not going to do the accent. They go, I'll give you a tour. And then everywhere they're taking you is like, I'm taking you to this suit shop. And you're like, why? And they go, buy a suit. And you go, no. That's what you've done. You've taken me to a spa. You made me buy some potato crisps. And then you took me.
He's had a pint of Guinness already in my mate's pub.
You're just getting commission left, right.
Yeah, but that's what they do. They just bring you to their mates, and they kind of bring you to your mate's tailor.
Yeah.
And you buy a suit because that's your mate, and he's going to get 20 quid or whatever it is.
So if there was an Irish version of that, where would you be taking me to go, you've got to get a shillelagh or a baron drum or whatever?
Do you know what I'd love to, I don't know what I'd do with you really, because I'd probably bring you up here and I'd hand you over to a comedian called Paddy McDonald.
Okay.
He used to do the taxi tours. And he used to be...
Not the porno ones?
No,
Okay.
not Jesus, Brennan.
Not fake taxi.
No. What is that? The taxi tours is basically you can hire a taxi and they drive you around the interesting parts of Belfast and they go through the history of Belfast with you.
Oh, cool.
And you get the taxi for maybe 2 hours.
So you can do that in Manchester, but it's a racist tour. It's a man going, fucking hell, have you seen that? You go, I just want to go home.
Can't believe they've moved in, bastards. Bloody can't walk down street now. I'm not the only white guy here.
That's Manchester.
That's Manchester. No, but I don't know what I do with you, actually. But it's really, I really love it when people I've worked with and lived with and, hung out with over in England come over to Belfast or Dublin or Cork. I really kind of like want to take care of them. Because it's kind of like, I've been in your patch for so many years. It's nice that when you come over here, it's a bit like, oh, look at this bit. This is where he was killed.
Yeah.
And that was that. Oh, that's a really good pub or all this kind of stuff.
That is
great,
the Irish tourism board, though. Yeah. Is going like, here's a map of people that have been killed in different places. That's all it is. I remember I went I was in Dublin last, and they went, oh, there's so many there's so many things to do. You can go here where someone was killed, here where someone was killed. There's a big prison. Lots of people were killed. I went to that prison in Dublin.
I told you about, yeah.
Yeah.
Kilmainham jail.
I was the only English person there, and then at the end they're like, and then the English were pricks, and then all these people just sort of looked at me like, yeah, you are, and I thought, it wasn't me.
I know, yeah. What I love about Belfast is that on the bus from Belfast International Airport to the city, they have TV screens where they advertise things to do.
Yeah.
In Belfast, right? And I was on it once, and these were the top 3 things to do in Belfast, right? Number 1, Titanic Museum, right?
Loads of death.
Right? 3,000 dead. Then you can do tours of the Troubles, 3,500 dead. And then you have, what's that TV show that was filmed here? Fucking that famous TV show. What was the TV show that was filmed here? Game of Thrones.
Dead.
Oh, dead. Fucking everyone's dead.
It's like there hasn't been enough death that they've had to make up death. And they're like, fantasy death? Dragon death.
Or we've had a real death. All the death has stopped here, but we need to keep creating death. That's what it is like, And then if you stay in like the Europa Hotel, it's the most bombed hotel in Europe.
Is it really?
Yeah. Like, I don't know how many times has the Europa Hotel been bombed? Too many times. Most bombed hotel.
I think the answer is too many.
Can you imagine being an American, right? So you're staying in the most bombed hotel in Europe, and tomorrow we're taking you on the 3 tours where just less than 10,000 people. Oh, by the way, have a great time.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
And they think a bum bag's going to save them.
A bum bag is not going to. Or your great uncle Seamus.
Yeah, they're like fucking your ass close.
36 times it's been bombed. The Europa Hotel.
How long's it been there?
Probably. I don't know what it's about. 36 times it's been bombed. 5-star rating. It's some of the best bombs you'll ever get.
Yeah, if you want to be in the mix.
If you want to be in the mix, if you're like go to Israel and Palestine and it's too quiet for you, just come over to the Europa Hotel.
It's immersive.
36 times it's been bombed. Just sit there and it's on average I'd say it's 1 every 9 months. If you probably break it down. But anyway, listen, Brendan, it's lovely to have you in Belfast. Now, you're over here working.
Yeah.
You're in Ireland for a week.
Yeah.
Brendan's a really good comedian. Originally, works all over the UK and Ireland and Europe and whatever it is.
Yeah, I've been everywhere.
So after here, you're going to where?
So I'm going to a spa.
You go to Galgorham.
Your
recommendation.
And Catherine Bohart said it as well.
Yeah,
and I was like, all right, because you said it and I thought, could be okay. Then she said it, I thought, yeah,
Why would you not think I would not know how good a spa is?
Because you live here and I don't know whether you nip to the spa.
No, I don't nip to a spa. I've done gigs there.
Oh, okay.
And I've walked around it, and it's lovely. And it's in Ballymena, which is, you'd have to get a train up.
Okay.
Which is half an hour.
Great.
And then you might have to get a taxi, which is about £5.
I'll get that company that don't turn up.
Yeah, you get that company that don't turn up, yeah. They'll add value to your day. So lovely spa. And then you're going Galway, is it?
Going to go to Galway.
That's a bit of a trek now from Belfast to Galway.
I Googled it after I'd taken the gig and I thought, well, what I was going to do is rent a car.
No,
not for €700 for 2 days. And then they wanted me to bring it back. I was like, can I not just leave it there? And they were like, no, that's not how it works.
Was there some comic in America that he got so famous? I think it was Louis C.K.
Oh, yeah.
He got so famous that he was in a rental car. He was over doing gigs. Say he was in LA, right?
Uh-huh.
And he had to hire a car for 3 or 4 days. And he was late for his flight, so he just drove to the airport to the drop-off area, which every 5 minutes the price doubles.
Yeah.
Got out of the car, just left the car in the drop-off area, went through security, rang the rental company and went, "Hiya, listen, yeah, it's at the drop-off area. And the guys were like, you're supposed to bring it back to the car rental place. And he was like, nah, whatever. The keys are in the ignition, just go pick it up yourselves. And the guy was like, well, you can't just do that. He goes, well, I've just done it. It's because I'm so rich.
I mean, the thing with Louis C.K., he sort of does what he wants, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of does.
I don't think the car thing's the worst thing. It's like, yeah, I just sort of left it. You said it was fine. And then 20 years later, they're like, you did leave a car in there.
Yeah, which was worse, what you did in front of women or left a car at an airport drop-off area. But you can't get a hire car at the moment because a lot of fleets got rid of hire cars to save money during pandemic because nobody was obviously travelling and going. A lot of fleets, car companies got rid of the pandemic. Remember the pandemic? Mm-mm. Oh, Brennan.
We didn't have it, I don't think.
In England?
No,
we didn't have it in England?
No.
Oh, which is lucky. Let me explain to you what happened.
Oh, God, okay.
You couldn't
More death.
More death, loads of death. I think about 5,000 died here.
Yeah.
I'd say the tourist board were here like, oh, brilliant, we've had more death.
I bet that hotel was like, finally, chance to clear up.
Want to clear our name from death. Even the Troubles were like, fucking hell, they've overtaken us in the deaths. COVID has had more deaths than the Troubles. We're not the top number one tourist attraction in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, you can have like a COVID tour. You'd be like, come on the coffin experience.
Oh, yeah, or come on the coffin experience, or come on the... we had in the south, you couldn't go more than 2 kilometres from your door.
How were they policing that, though?
They were, though.
I mean, I guess
they were policing it. Like,
see, they said where I was, but it was like, I'd go to B&Q about 6 times a day.
Yeah, it was the only thing opened.
It was great.
I was working there. I was working in B&Q. I was working in B&Q. Awful place to work during it because everyone was coming there. You were like, guys, you don't need to do your bathroom for the 5th time this year.
I decorate my house 3 times during the day. And I got a trade card from somewhere.
You got a trade card? Oh, 5% off on a trade card.
Well, it wasn't that. Because you go outside of B&Q and there'd be like a queue, like Alton Towers, like this.
Oh, yeah.
Trade card, straight in.
Yeah.
VIP treatment.
Yeah, you go in and you get 5% or 10% off, depending on how much you use B&Q off your trade. Checkatrade.com. That's not.
No adverts on the podcast?
We're not talking.
Is that not?
No, there's no adverts. I'm not that level yet.
If you do like Andrew10 at bnq.com/Andrew,
you get 10% off paint or paint brushes. Or just get a voucher for someone. Remember to get a voucher for B&Q.
Yeah, I mean, remember vouchers. That's like how Peter gave it. Remember vouchers.
I'd love to get a voucher for B&Q. I think it'd be a great present to get a voucher. Is that somebody telling you, though, your house needs to be fucking done?
Yeah. Someone comes round and they go,
here's a 50 quid voucher for B&Q. Just not sending you a message. It's just I feel it needs to be updated.
This is a slight tangent, but it connects to it. So I started going to therapy.
Oh, here we go. It's taking a twist.
But,
is it all the debt you've seen in Belfast?
Yeah, but the woman whose house I go to, I probably shouldn't. She's not going to watch.
You go to her house?
Yeah.
Is that? Whoa, Brennan. Is that professional?
Yeah.
Has she got like a side office?
No. Just sit in the front room.
Okay.
She could do with a gift card.
Really?
All I think when I'm in there is clean your house. It stinks.
Really?
So bad. Do you know when she's going, all you've got to do is write a gratitude diary.
Oh, fuck, here we go.
And breathe and maybe go for a walk. I'm like, all you've got to do is get rid of some of these cats and maybe just a little once over.
Clean.
Little once over.
Because I think if your house is dirty, your head is dirty.
Yeah.
I think your house represents how you're feeling.
My house is clean.
My house is spotless.
I reckon we've both got like Norman Bates serial
I would say you could be the English version of me.
Oh, that's one of the worst things anyone's ever said. I'm done. I'm going.
So you go to therapy. Are you in therapy? You're going every week or every second
every week.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I did 2 years of therapy.
Yes, it's good, isn't it?
How do you find it?
I mean, the first few, I just think they sit there and they go, time's up. But then the more you get into it,
they're assessing you.
Yeah, it's my mum's fault. Everything's my mum's fault.
Oh yeah. But everything's my dad's fault.
I think that's the hack bit of therapy. Like, there's loads of hacky things with comedy. You know, it's like, give me 6, or like if you there's a dickhead in every group, and if you don't know who it is, it's you. Yeah. Right? I think there's hack therapy.
Yeah.
I think it's less like you go, oh my God, my girlfriend's left me, and they go, it's probably your mum's fault. And you're like, fucking shut up.
Did you feel abandoned as a child?
Yeah.
Did you get hugged? How many brothers and sisters do you have? I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. And where are you? I'm the youngest. Oh, we know why.
Yeah. But you could say I'm the middle. Oh, you're the middle child. Oh, you're the oldest one.
That means you got most of the attention, so you're very angry. You're not getting what you want. There's always a fucking line back to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Once a week.
Once a week.
And how long have you been going?
Maybe about 2 months.
Right, so 8 sessions in.
Yeah.
How are you feeling in yourself after?
I feel better.
And are you working on things you need to work on, or things that you've learning about and understanding why that happened?
Yeah, I've stopped eating McDonald's in the car after a gig.
The most depressing thing ever.
But I live on my own, but I still eat it in the car in case anyone sees the... I'm going,
Do you know what it is? There's nothing worse than waking up to an empty McDonald's in the kitchen.
Awful, isn't it?
I think that's worse than a one-night stand, trying to get rid of a one-night stand. Do you know if you bring someone home and it happens and you're like, okay, I'm really busy. Like, I have a meeting at 10, so will I call you an Uber? I think seeing an empty McDonald's is worse than trying to get rid of a one-night stand.
It's harder to get rid of as well.
Oh, no, you should entice her with a McDonald's. Let's go, out you go.
You just throw it out the door.
But like, that I don't eat McDonald's really. I probably have it me once every 3 months.
Yeah.
When you have a McDonald's, is that because you're down?
Probably.
And you want to make it worse.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to really hurt myself.
This is
3 chicken selects.
It's like a legitimate way of self-harming.
Yeah. Well, and it's a cheap way of doing it.
Yeah.
Razor blades are expensive.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy, man. So, but are you seeing changes in yourself?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I'm more bearable to be around. Like, when I'm around my mum and dad, I'm not like a teenage girl who's going, fuck off. Like, yeah. I can have a conversation with them now, which is always good. And then I just feel after the pandemic, because I spent so much time on my own.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Were you single in the pandemic?
So I went through a breakup in the pandemic.
Same, so did I.
Yeah. And we renovated a house together, and then I had to go, sorry, you can't be here. Well, no, it was a mutual thing.
Thanks for all the work.
Yeah.
It was unpaid.
Great tiling.
Yeah, listen, it was a 0-hour contract, so out the door.
And then I felt guilty about that, so she had to move out. And then you go, oh, God, this is a big house, isn't it? You're just mooching around a house. So I feel going to therapy's made me go back to how I was
prior.
Yeah.
So you find it's beneficial.
Yeah, but I don't know how you picked yours. I picked it off the picture.
I actually went to two or three people, and one I felt comfortable with.
Okay. So you speed dated therapists.
I basically did Tinder for therapy, like. Yeah. No, not got a degree. Oh, got a degree, but doesn't have a master's. Nope. I went to a woman, and she started to give me homework.
Oh, yeah. Sheets.
Yeah, no, she used to say to me, like, make your bed in the morning. It's a sign of achievement.
I do that anyway.
Starting your day off right. I'm like, right, okay. I'm giving you 50 quid an hour here.
You tell me to make my bed.
Fucking bed. And then one day I was in with her, and she was like, "You're very quiet today, Andrew." And I went, "Yeah, I'm not feeling great." She goes, "Why?" And I goes, "You know why?" I feel like
you're not doing previously on.
Previously on, like, you've not read the fucking notes. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm grieving, and for my mum and all that. My mum passed away and all that. I'm just grieving, and I'm upset about it, and all this kind of stuff." And she was just like, understandable. But your mom would want you to be happy. I said, you don't fucking know.
Yeah, she'd want you to make your bed.
You got me. Here's 50 quid. Do you want to know what type of sheets there were on the bed as well?
Do you know what you could do? Which would be better? You could pay someone 50 quid a week just to come around and make your bed.
Yeah. I've outsourced it. What I've done is I've outsourced the bed work so I have more time to think. But I ended up finishing therapy.
Completing it.
Yeah, she said to me, right, I think we've done enough. And I thought she was either she wanted rid of me or she thinks she's fixed me. But actually, I liked her saying, actually, Andrew, from things you've been describing the last couple of months, is I really feel you've made a lot of progress. And it was like, she was like, I'm now going to release you back into society as a fully fixed man.
You're going to be like one of those videos. Do you know when like a cub, like a tiger cub gets sent out into the wild, and then 20 years later that bearded man turns back up and the cub is grown and goes, you'll see her in a fucking Tesco in about 20 years, and she'll go, come on. You'll just be in her arms.
And I'm there with a wife and kids going, this was her. This was created because of her. 250 quid a month, but this was created because of her. If she didn't fix me, I would not be married to you. No, shut, don't fucking speak till I fucking speak, because you know I have issues with women. Stop crying. Stop crying.
I'm not paying another 250 quid.
Yeah, adoption can't come fucking fast enough, you little prick. Do you ever, because you're a couple of years younger than me, not married, no kids, same as me. Do you feel content with that? Do you feel you're missing out? Do you feel I need to do something, or don't chase it? Just let things be the way they're going to be.
Yeah, only recently I've gone, do I want kids? Like, I've got nieces and nephews who are great. I'm really good with them. But do you know when you go, that's not like the nonce police, by the way. I've got nieces and nephews. Change it to a different group. I don't know which area I'm in.
You're in the nationalist area, so that's fine. Okay.
Woo! It's reversible.
I don't know if the listeners will have been heard. As soon as he said, I've got kids, and then boom, police van went by.
Police van went by. And so, yeah, like, I thought about it. But do you know when you're around kids and you say, I'm with my nephews for like 4 hours and go, this is knackering.
Fucking did it.
So imagine that for 18 years.
Oh.
My mum and dad still have to look after me. I'm 35.
Yeah.
That's well beyond the contract.
I know, it's crazy. I was in Cork at the weekend and I went out with my nieces and nephews who I love dearly. And they were like, give me your phone. I was like, what do you want my phone for? Give me your phone. They wanted to do a TikTok. And they were like, oh, you got like 15,000 followers. We want to do a TikTok. And they're all about the phone. So I gave them a phone. They went outside, filmed the TikTok, and then people messaged me going, what the hell is up on your TikTok? So I had to delete the video.
Oh my God.
Because they're like, why is Andrew filming kids? Like, why is Andrew filming kids? Like, so I had to delete the TikTok. And I have a lovely little trick that I do with my nieces and nephews. I don't know if you do this with you. What I do is, I was at a wedding, and I took out cash in the wall, right? And so I had like €200, so at 450s. I'm you know, right, I had 450s, and I got the 450s.
This is how well you're doing.
Look at that wallpaper.
Look at that solid wall.
I know, yeah. We're designing another set. We're doing it on the cheap.
Panic. He's like, please don't leave. Please keep subscribing. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, please. The cost of living. It's the cost of living. That's what that is. That's why that's like that. Anyway, I got the 450s, and underneath the 450s, I always have €5. So there's 4 of them, and I got 1, 2, and their eyes are lighting up, thinking they're getting €50, and then I just pick up the 50s and I put the £5 down. And I go, there you go. Sorry, that's my money. That's a £5 to you. And they're like, yeah, bastard.
I remember this happening, but to adults. I was at the Comedy Store in London, and I think I can't remember who was on, and there was maybe like 5 of us on. 4 of us had done great. Someone had done okay, and it's one of the best, easiest gigs around.
Yeah,
like you've really got to be good, but it's easy to smash it. And watch me be at the Comedy Store now, be like, Sue, the pandemic.
I'm in therapy.
And everyone goes, oh God, it's the new Brexit. So there was a pilot, this American pilot, who comes up to us afterwards, and he's like, hey man, really enjoyed the show. He goes, I'm so honoured that, you know, you really entertained us. Pulls out this wad of cash, and he goes to me, $100. Imran Yusuf, $100. Justin Morehouse, $100. And then the person that did a bit ropey, he goes and gives him 50. It was insane.
I still have that 50, you know. That's mental, but that's like America though. I'm going to America soon. It's a bit like I have to learn about this tipping culture because there's like I'm quite anxious about it. But it's 10%, isn't it, or something?
I think it's gone up more because I was saying I came back. I went for New Year. I think it's creeped into 15%. But the thing that I have with tipping, so yeah, I get it. They're on lower wages.
They rely on tips.
Yeah, they rely on tips. But do you know when you're like, I'm never going to come back here. So you can hate me as much as you want. Here's the fee for the food.
Did you actually do that in America at all? Did you? Would you get? Is there any way in America you shouldn't tip? Is it because the food was bad or the service was bad? Can you say you're not getting a tip now?
I don't think so. I think they could be awful. I think they could come up, throw your food down, spit in it, punch you in the throat, and if you didn't tip 10%, they'd moan about you.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. God, I know, but and can you tip on the card?
Yeah, you can.
So that's all right now. That's pretty cool. So, what I love hearing a guy say to me that they're in therapy. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I
think it's great, man. And do you talk about it on stage?
No, not yet. Like
you haven't written anything about it.
No, like, because there's kind of loads of like Londony
guys that
Oxbridge,
do that, or girls,
like when they're like, yeah, so I've been in therapy now since I'm like 16.
I have to get the helicopter to the classes because traffic.
Because it's one of the things with therapy is it's so expensive, like for working class people. And where I grew up, if my mum or dad wanted to go to therapy, they can't just be busting out 50 quid a month, 50 quid a week.
That's where you need someone to go, I know a guy down the street. You know the way you want some knockoff Adidas trainers or something like that. To go.
Well, that's what local pubs were for. That was your therapy. You go, I'm going to buy a pint for £1.60 and chat to the mental person in the corner of the room. And at the end, they'd go, yeah. And then you go, that's therapy.
Yeah.
But now, like, if you want to go for like the NHS, I think it's like 3-4 month wait.
You'd be like, I'm suicidal now. Like in 4 years' time, what? I'm dead.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is.
Do you know on BBC iPlayer there's a TV show called Therapy where they actually put hidden camera. Well, it's not hidden cameras. They're American couples, real couples.
Yeah.
It's real therapy, and they're being filmed, and they come in with and they do everything. And I was watching it. It's on BBC iPlayer. I highly recommend it. You have straight couples, gay couples, whatever. They come in.
No, I'm joking.
They come in, and there was one couple, man and a woman, and they're married like 15, 20 years, right? And they're like, we're very much in love, but my husband, he just wants sex every day. And the husband is trying to justify everything. My wife has to do this for me. And you watch it, and you look at him, and you go, this guy's a prick. How is she staying with him? And do you have friends of yours or people you know that you look at them together and you're like, how the fuck are you two still together? Like, he or she is an absolute fucking bitch. A bit like an Amber Heard or a Johnny Depp scenario. And you're like, as I'm getting a bit older, I only go to weddings now that I think will last. I've turned down a wedding this year.
And that's the seal of approval.
I'm like,
if your friends know that's your rule.
I was at my cousin's wedding last week. It's going to be fine. But I was just like, I'm starting to be like, I can't be dealing with your shit anymore about your... Cause
that's a weekend of mine for what, 2 years of trying of yours? Like,
yeah.
I've got friends, this couple, and they've been together for like, maybe like 8 years. They've got a kid. And I speak to both of them separately, and they're like, this is awful. We really don't love each other. We cheat on it. Like, they'll each tell me opposite. Oh, I cheated on it. Oh, I cheated on it. And you go in, and I want to be like, just leave.
Yeah.
But they just don't know the other one's cheating. And they go, it'd be so much easier if...
one of you just had the balls.
Well, if
go in.
If one of them caught the other one, it'd be off. They just haven't caught them yet. And you're like, guys, I can make this so much easier. But I can't be the guy who goes,
just walk in.
She's also cheating. He's also cheating.
Just walk in with a microphone. And today, and here's the therapist I brought as well, just to help you.
Yeah. I'm on commission.
You know what I mean? Like Brennan's tourist board of bringing people around to therapists, bringing around the damage coming. They'll give me 20 quid off that.
Like, there we go.
You know, if you want debt, come into this house. That's crazy, man.
But I've got so many friends that are together that you're like, you're both not happy. Like my mum and dad would not. My mum and dad were together for 40 years. I'd say for a good 20 of them, they weren't happy. But they were doing it for the kids.
But a lot of people stay together for the kids, don't they?
But
it's a very noble thing to do, but also I think it brings in deep-hearted resentment and long-term issues and all that, you know?
Because it's your life as well.
Yeah, and that's why, like, someone said to me recently, like, oh, Andrew, are you married? And I was like, nope. And they were like, oh. And I was like...
Do you think you'll get married, though? Or would you like to get married?
Oh, we talk about this all the time. Yes, I go through one day yes, another day no.
Okay.
But my heart, I'm totally open to it. But if it just happens, I'm not going to force the issue.
Hey, here's the thing. One of my friends is getting into this, and I think it's got bad news.
Heroin, is it? It's a heroin.
No, it's really good, that.
Yeah, have you tried it?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
I've got just a variety of different belts. It's really
different
nice.
veins for different types. Diet heroin, full fat heroin. You know.
I think all heroin is
sugar-free.
All heroin's diet heroin. You go so thin. So he's been in a relationship for about a year.
Okay.
With someone that was on... Do you have the show Naked Attraction here?
Yeah.
So they were on... He's with someone who was on Naked Attraction.
So he was with a girl?
Yeah.
Is he a comedian?
No.
Okay.
And she's got a fanny full out on national telly.
What?
Yeah. Season 3 episodes. I don't know.
17 minutes in, just before the ad break.
So she's suggested an open relationship, which is, I think the rules are we can fuck anyone, but we do have to tell each other, and it can't be like you can't get into a relationship with that person. If your wonderful Mrs. I don't know her, but I imagine she's lovely, one day just turned up and was like, by the way, open relationship. What do you think?
It's closed.
It's fully closed.
Closed, mate. Closed
it's 9 p.m. It's on that gate. The doors are shut.
It's a Shankill in the Falls. We're closing it. There is no way am I doing that.
A mural on the wall of you and your partner. Her just like, oh my God. If your partner watches this, not you, the old one. The old one. Like, you're lovely, not you. One's from the past.
No, Brennan. I think I'm from that school of thought. Like, I suppose the Irish in me is like, no. Like, if I commit to someone, I properly commit to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not. I'm not going to be sitting at home on a Thursday and she's out and I'm thinking, she's going to come in and be like, can't walk.
Yeah. She's like, give us a kiss. You're like,
no way. Go upstairs and shower.
No way.
And down to the clinic tomorrow. I'm not, no, man.
It's a lot, isn't it? I think relationships
so much insecurity and jealousy and toxic relationships. And where is your friend now with this person?
I think I think to stay with her, I think he thinks it'll be fine. Because I also think he thinks, I'll just be shagging every night. And you're like,
won't.
You don't. Just because you're in an open relationship, you don't get any more attractive. Like,
if anything, some women would reluctantly go with you because they think it's a bit weird. And also, they're worrying about, like, you know, STDs.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff like that. Like,
and I think the worst bit is the knowing.
Oh.
If they go in, oh, yeah, I'm just staying out for the night.
Oh, are you now?
Yeah.
Great.
No, I'll pick you up. You're in Reading. I'll drive.
Yeah. Oh, well, you're in a guy called Paul's house. Paul from work. Yeah. Is it Paul from work?
Because I think those things will turn into relationships. There'll be one guy who she meets or one girl who this guy meets,
and they'll just fade off.
And do
you think she's like with him because she knows she's just using him as a stopgap till the next person?
I'd say
a lot of people do that. I've done that before.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been dated someone and I was like, yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. But
just like when people put a 20p on a pool table, they're like, I'm on next.
Yeah, winner stays on.
Yeah, and then I'm off.
Which rules? European rules. 2 shots in the black. You know, any
sounds more racist in your accent.
2 shots in the black. Yeah. 2 shots in the black or any pocket on the black. I mean, I'll play back table.
I don't know what any of that means.
Okay, it's all right. It's okay. When I was very young, I used to be in the top 90 in Ireland at pool.
Really?
Yeah, I used to play a lot of pool. Not anymore though.
Isn't it weird that top 100 sounds better?
I think it was 98 players registered. Top 100.
It's like when actors go, "Oh, it's down to the last 2 for that." You're like, "No, you weren't."
No, you weren't. Do you ever hear what I love about comedians? You know, I think what I love about it is they go, "How are you?" Yeah, I'm great. Oh, fucking these scripts, man.
Oh yeah.
You know that, like, you what? I didn't ask, but
it's just that. Ooh, too busy.
How you doing, man? How you getting on? Yeah, I'm exhausted, man. I was up late last night finishing these scripts for the BBC.
They don't even say doing the BBC. You go, "Oh right, what is it?" And they're like, "Oh, it's a thing."
It's a thing.
What thing?
You know,
can't talk about it.
But
you are talking about it.
You're just letting me know.
I tell everyone everything, and to my detriment, because then people are like, "I'll go." They'll be on to, like, they'll be messaging. They'll be talking to you, and then they'll be messaging their agent like that.
How did he get that? How did he get that?
Yeah.
Whoa! Live at the Apollo, we're booking again. Why haven't I been seen for it?
Or when I found it, so I did Live at the Apollo in 2018. Ooh.
I haven't done it yet. But anyway, go on.
I know. And when I told Andrew, he was like, but I wasn't allowed to tell anyone. So it's the last day of the Fringe. No,
Yeah.
sorry, it was the last day before the Fringe. It's like the 31st of July or whatever. And you're all panicking because you've spent all this money on the Fringe, and the Fringe is quite a high pressure thing. So get a phone call. Oh my God, this is amazing, because I didn't think I'd be in the line to do it. I was with my mum.
Brilliant
told my
news
mum.
to
It was
get.
great. And then I wasn't allowed to tell anyone during the Fringe.
You didn't give a shit about the Fringe then, did you?
Oh, I didn't fuck. I was like, I've got half a show. I don't care.
Yeah.
It was...
I know what's coming up. That's probably going to get me more people on a tour than this fucking festival.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't have to spend 10 grand on PR.
And you're getting paid very well for Live at the Apollo, and you're like, I can not only do Edinburgh, relax, got big profile coming up, big profile show, probably get a holiday out of it. If anything, this is probably worth more than a fucking Edinburgh nomination.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Um,
I'm not bitter about it. I have tried to get on it, but you were great on it, man.
Thanks.
Really good. And I thought the last series was very strong.
Yeah.
Really
where there's
strong.
Like not sneaky people, but like people from the circuit where you're like, yes, come on.
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Tom Ward.
Great.
Loved seeing Tom on it.
Yeah.
Like, and I was actually, and Scott Bennett.
Great.
I like
works his ass off.
Real great, just a brilliant stand up. I'd love to see a Mark Nelson on there.
Oh, he'd smash it.
Just stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Dan Nightingale.
Dan Nightingale. He's probably not far off it now, I'd say.
It's surprising, isn't it? Because he's someone who's got a podcast that's like, it's I'd say the biggest comedy podcast in the UK.
You can easily.
And there's like producers in London, like, oh, yeah, those guys wouldn't even know who he is.
Oh, I genuinely believe that even from I lived in Manchester doing comedy and I lived in London doing comedy. The north of England might as well not exist.
Exactly.
To some people in the south. And what pisses me off with the comedy industry sometimes, and it's in any industry you work in, whether you work in fucking engineering or you work on the railways, I don't care, whatever you do. people don't go out and look at talent, right? I have done the amount of showcases.
Talent scouts from railway engineers.
Yeah.
Good sleeper work.
Well, that lad can lift a bit of metal, can he? Oh, look at the way he blew the whistle. Like, platform 4. Oh, he said 4. Brilliant. Very clear.
He made everyone stand behind the yellow line. He was so good.
He checked the tickets in quick time fashion, But I've done showcases in London, and you've done them. Your agent rings you up. There's a showcase. You're on with 10 comics. You get 5 minutes. There's 100 people in there. 60 of them will be in the industry, as in working for agents or TV or whatever. And you go out and you're like, this isn't a normal comedy night.
Nope.
This isn't the normal people that you want to put me in front of. They're sitting in the home counties that will go out to a theatre or watch your show on a Saturday night at live, whatever it is.
Yeah.
This isn't a real comedy crowd. They're just sitting there going, no, he doesn't fit in the demographic, or she doesn't fit quite right.
They might as well have fucking notepads.
Might as well not do it. Real comedy happens in Belfast on a Tuesday night, in Dublin on a Wednesday night, Friday night, in Leicester, in Glasgow, a real fucking heartland of working class, middle class people. In places like Surrey on a Friday night, you do the G Live, the side room, to 120 people, where people have worked their fucking ass off all week. Got a baby's coming out for a comedy and a curry with their friends because they're just exhausted.
And comedians are relaxed as well, because you're in your workplace. You're not.
We're in our workplace. Yeah. You go out on a Saturday, you go to a Monday night showcase in London. You're like, fuck.
Feels like a penalty shootout.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I'm on first. That's the worst spot because they mightn't have all arrived yet. Oh, I don't want to go on too late because they'll all have left because they've got to get home to get back into the office for 9.
Yeah.
Who am I going on after? I've got 5 minutes.
Yeah. To
showcase myself.
Instead, when you do 20, and after a while, when you start out 5 minutes, it feels like an age, and you get a good 5.
Yeah.
But now, when you do 20 every night, imagine that there was a footy match, and they went, oh, it's like 5-side rules, and the first half is 15 minutes.
You're like,
go score. You're like, what?
I don't have time to show my composure. Show my passing ability, my awareness, my vision, my timing.
Yeah.
It's literally, do I need to be the funniest? Well, that's what I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be funny. No. I've done shows like that where I've genuinely come off and gone, I did great, and then the feedback is, oh yeah, they love you, but you're not right. And then you see somebody that goes on and gets 30% of the laughs, and they're on everything, and you go, oh, it's not. Comedy isn't really about being funny anymore, isn't it?
Well, that's going back to the therapy thing. One of the things, and I've never, when I first started, wanted to be. Because you see these bitter 50-year-old comics, and I was like, when I start comedy, I never want to be that because I'm doing the job.
Neither do I.
And I love doing this job. But it gets to a point where comedy bottlenecks, and it's around the nominations, around when Live at the Apollos come out. And I've been so lucky, I've got to do pretty much everything I thought I would dreamed of ever doing.
Yeah.
But then other things pop up, and you go, but they're a bit shit, that person.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just not for me, but I think they're a bit shit. And it's hard not to take that personally. So when I started going to therapy, that would come out, and I'd go, I don't want to be this. I don't want to be annoyed when I turn on the TV.
I don't get annoyed with it. I really don't.
I don't now. But over the lockdown, because I felt like I had nothing.
I think with me, it's like I wanted it so bad many years ago. I probably pushed it away from me, and now I actually don't give a shit anymore. And I've actually become the best I've ever been.
That's the best way to be. And I feel the same now. Where you go, cool.
You know what? I swear to God, man, we've all done shitty jobs, right? If this is the best my comedy career would ever get, I get to do certain clubs, tour supports, my own tours, little pockets of TV now and again, some private shows, a nice few trips away, over to Europe and stuff like that. I swear to God, if you offered this to me 20 years ago, I would have bitten your hand off. I'm so lucky.
And I think that's the thing that's missing from, without getting too moany about it, because you've done those shit jobs, I've done those shit jobs. There's some people out there, and it's not their choice to be born into privilege, but they've never had to do it. So comedy becomes like a plaything. You're like, no, this really matters.
Yeah,
this is really we're really looking to get.
I remember talking to a comedian who I really like. Said to me, I just don't want to be a comedian. I want to be a TV presenter. Yeah. And you were like, well, why are you doing this then? Well, it's a way of being seen. And it was a bit like they were kind of disrespecting the craft a bit.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like, I remember they said to me oh, it's just energy, isn't it? Once you have loads of energy and you say wacky things, all you need is 15, 20 minutes. And next thing you know, you get the right people to see you're on telly. And I just went, mate, I'm here tonight. I've got this bit and I'm really desperate to try and get it right.
Yeah.
And you don't. This is a real craft. This is like a plumbing and electrical.
And it's got a history to it.
It's got a history to it, yeah. And I just went, you know what? And that person doesn't do comedy more and is a TV presenter. and is a prick, apparently. Because the amount of people I've spoken to...
I don't know who he is.
But let me just tell you this. It is not anyone on mainstream TV. They're from a different country.
Great.
Right. So it's nobody in the UK.
Yeah.
Right. So there's nobody in the UK. They're from, how would you say, a long flight away. Very long.
That could be a
very long flight away.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. They're not UK.
One of the longest flights you can get.
Oh, to the other side of the world.
It's 2 flights.
It's 2 flights. It's a stopover.
But it's not the longest because that's New Zealand. But
yeah, it's the second longest. So anyway, right? So and you kind of go, oh, you're in it for the wrong reasons. Like I sometimes say to myself, am I happy with just being here? And then I'm like, no, but I don't have the personality, I think, to be a prick. You know what I mean? You know the way there's some people in comedy that you go, what?
You're a prick.
I'm a prick. No, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know the way there's some people, like, they can just be tunnel vision.
And they'd push kids out of the way. It's
they
women
do whatever
and children.
they want.
It's the people that were dressing up as women on the Titanic.
Yeah, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
People from first class trying to get onto or people from whatever it is. Yeah, you're right. Your analogy, I can't even say the word now. Your analogy is right? And I was talking to another comedian about it. It's like, you have to be quite aggressive and bullying and demanding and all that. And I've no problem with people like that but I don't have that personality.
Yeah, I don't want to be that either.
And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person. Or so-and-so, or they're really funny on telly. And then you speak to people in production, people that work with them on tour, they go, yeah, but they're insufferable. And they've got no friends. And they're really lonely. They just want something. And then when they get it, it's still not good enough. And they've trampled on everybody below them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't have that personality.
I just don't think it's a good way to live life.
No.
Either, because you'll get to 50 and you'll be sat in a mansion and you'll have no friends.
On your second or third husband or wife or whatever.
You would have been replaced with the version of you that's 20 years younger.
Yeah.
And you'll go, oh, cool, I've got all this money, now what? Everyone thinks I'm a prick.
There you go.
Worst way to be.
Worst way to be. So I'd rather be, do it my way and you do it your way and have a nice career with it. Because I think, like, with comedy sometimes... I would say I'm very well known in comedy, but I'm not famous, right?
Yeah.
So everybody in comedy knows. It's like if you're into football. If you're into championship football and you play for Nottingham Forest, I'm like a guy that plays for Nottingham Forest. Yeah. Unless you're really into it, you'll know who I am. But you're not a Ronaldo or a
and you'll go from
Messi.
team to team to team and always be that. Like,
and you'll have a great life.
You'll play till you're 40.
Yeah, and you'll have a great life.
Exactly.
It's a brilliant life, So there we go. So that I just find that. But I think coming back to Ireland, I really noticed... And I hope you get over here a little bit more. Everyone is so much... Like, people in England are supportive as well, but it's we need to climb the ladder.
Yeah.
Whereas over here, it's like, oh, you're doing a gig? That's brilliant, man. Let me know, I'll come and do it for you. Everything is just like, do you want to come on pod? Of course, man. It's brilliant.
Well, as I was saying to you on the way here, like, I had the Dublin gig in and the Belfast gig in, and then I had a few days in between, bumped into Ian Coppinger in Manchester the other day, and he'd sorted a gig out before I'd even asked.
Isn't that lovely?
And like, I know him a bit, don't know him that well. He goes, it'll be good. The guy runs a festival, and you go, oh, thanks. That was really, and that's what it should be. It should be a circuit because there's the tiniest percentage of people that have ever experienced not that we're better than anyone, but we've all experienced what it's like to drive around.
We know.
Do the shit gigs, do the good gigs, nearly get something, not nearly get something, finally get something. And you go, surely we should all be going, we can all do this.
There's room for everybody. It's like music. It's like someone said to me, the band AC/DC, they're shit. No, they're not shit. They're a brilliant band. I'm just not into them. That doesn't mean they're shit.
Yeah.
There's room for everybody.
This is what I'd learned in therapy. That I'd go, that's shit. And she'd go, maybe it's just not for you. So now there's 50 quid. If you can send 50 quid to my PayPal,
the next time you're in your therapy, you go, you're a shit therapist. Maybe I'm just not for you. You're right. You're right.
Finally, we're out of it. Good.
Do you ever meet a therapist socially?
No.
I met one at the weekend.
Oh, really? What was that like?
Clinical psychologist. Very normal, but when you talk to them, you're always be like, are you assessing me?
Yeah.
Are you judging me?
But that's like when people come to you and they go, oh, I bet you're going to use this for your act, and you go, or your skits.
Or the best one is you get people to come, you should meet my mate Dave. Or you get all the material off Dave. No, I fucking won't. There is no way am I getting material off him. That's not how it works.
I went to my ex's mum's 60th the other day.
My ex's mum. Was your ex there?
Yeah. We share a dog. It's all fine. We're good.
You share a dog?
Yeah, we share a dog.
You got co-parenting with a share of a
joint
dog?
Custody of a dog.
So what you get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Do you have to get the dog on a Saturday supervised by a social worker?
Yeah, I get evenings and weekends. No,
How do you share a dog?
We just sort of do it as and when. So like, some
do you want her tomorrow? Do you want him tomorrow? What is it, a
like
girl or a boy? The dog?
Little girl, yeah.
Right.
And we just go, oh, can I have the dog for a few days? Yeah, yeah. Or she'll go, oh, I'm in London for 2 weeks. Cool, I'll have the dog. It's great.
And has that really helped your relationship? Are you civil now because of the dog? Because when you meet up, you just talk about the dog.
Yeah. Well, it's just made us go, oh, because you can really, when you split up with someone, you can really fix on the things that you hate about them. And you're like, you really look after this dog well, and we can go for a walk with the dog and talk about stuff. It's not weird.
Do you ever like look at it and go, oh, the dog was crying yesterday, but it wasn't crying as long as you were crying in the bathroom in the relationship. You know what? The dog is really cuddly, a bit like how you weren't cuddly with me in the end of the relationship.
The dog hasn't put away her toys, just like you.
The dog has put a bit of weight on. Someone's been eating. You know what I mean?
That's what she'd say to me. The lockdown's been tough. I've eaten Jaffa cakes for 2 years.
Do you ever use the dog as a bit like, yeah, she prefers it with me rather than like, no, come back.
There is a little bit of like when you drop the dog off and then the dog gets suddenly really excited. It's like, yeah, someone new. And you go, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, well, yeah, see what Christmas presents you get off her. Like, you know, that's mad that you share a dog.
Yeah, I think it was an
There's
odd
definitely
choice.
material there with that, isn't there?
Yeah, I've not really delved
like
into
I would
it
look
yet.
at that now, like if, from a comics point of view, it would be about like, look, I split up with my partner, but we have custody, and you know, but you drag it out for ages so the audience think that it's a child, and then you bring it in as a dog, and you just do whatever it is with a dog that you would have done with a child.
Yeah, you smash those two worlds together.
You rang up, you go, I'll fucking see you, Sarah. I'll fucking see you. It's my fucking dog as well.
Me paying dog maintenance.
So I go, yeah, you ring the DVLA or whatever. That's the DVLA. What's it called? What's a TVLA? It's the fucking cat. It's a DVLA.
Yeah, you get your provisional license.
Yeah, you ring
like the
you ring dog support. Get dog. I'll see you in court, you fucking bitch. And then you're in the car park. It's a dog, actually, not a child. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not walking it.
What if you call your child Scruff? You call the dog Scruff.
That's insane, man. That's brilliant. You have custody. I suppose that prepares you for raising a child separately as well.
Because it's so like my brother and my sister. They've both been through divorces. They share their kids. No one in my family is in a relationship. No adult member.
Wow,
it's pretty full on, that, isn't it?
Your parents aren't.
Mum and dad aren't. Brother and sister aren't. I am not.
I think you as a family should go to therapy. and have your parents sitting at the corner of the therapist look at the
My therapist would be like this. It's 50 quid each, you know.
Yeah, mum and dad, he's a bastard. We didn't want the kids.
Yeah, everyone.
That's insane.
Everyone's been through, apart from, I've not been divorced, obviously, but my brother's been through, divorce, sister divorced, mum and dad divorced.
Do you ever meet up for Sunday lunch? Are you close as a family?
Well, my sister lives in Spain, but yeah, we're pretty close.
Do you ever meet up at Sunday lunch and you go, how are you?
My dad's like smashing the post.
He's just like going, well, we're divorced. I'm not with anybody. And your parents are sitting there going, God, we've raised them well. Like, you know what I mean?
When my mum and dad got divorced, the roles got reversed. And what I would have to do is take them out on alternate weekends. So
I'd
take my dad out. Yeah,
like a dog.
I'd take my dad out, would go to the cinema. My mum would hear about it and she'd go, well, you never spend time with me. So then the weekend after, I'd go and pick her up, would go for a meal. And then
was it tit for tat, like?
Literally tit for tat. And you go...
And you're the pawn in the middle, aren't you? Like, you're the piece of chess beat that's been moved around all the time.
But you're like, why am I buying you cinema tickets? Do you know what I mean? I didn't choose for you to get divorced.
Fuck. And how are your parents' relationship now?
Yeah, they're all right.
Do they talk?
Yeah. So I'll like...
It's just when they're dropping the dog back and forth. Like.
Well, what I do is when I have the dog and I can't look at, I send it to my mum, and my dad goes, well, why don't you drop it off? And I'll get so confused like that. But on a Sunday, I'll try and have a Sunday roast at mine to bring the family together.
And will they come over together?
Yeah. I mean, last night they came to my gig to get, so my cousin came over from Canada, and then my mum and dad went the gig together and were fine.
We're sat together?
Yeah.
And have they got new partners?
No.
They're both still single?
My dad still wears his wedding ring.
Oh, your dad didn't want it to end?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Oh, that's sad.
Les.
Oh, sad.
It's not...
Just call him Johnny Depp.
Yeah. He wanted it to end though, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I haven't been following that trial, but it sounds like that was a fucking toxic relationship.
I think she's got, I didn't really follow it, but I've seen the little clips that pop up, and I know they're taken from like hours and hours of court footage, but it sounds like she's gone, I'm going to lose, so I'm going to go full mad now.
Yeah. I think she knows she's going to lose now as well. I know. Can I ask you, because when you broke up with your ex and you share a dog and you obviously see your ex a bit more, has your relationship improved with your ex?
In some ways, yeah.
And do you ever like look at each other and go, do you want to go for a beer?
Occasionally, but not for like that. So it'll be like, sometimes when you haven't seen them for a few weeks and you go, oh, do you know what? She's great with a dog. Things are going well.
We're in an open relationship.
We're in an open relationship. None of us know. And then you go, oh, maybe. And then after 5 minutes of seeing each other, I'll be like, oh. And she'll go, oh.
Why, are you sick of each other?
Yeah.
Oh, are you proper sick of each other?
Like there's just little things. Like I got
Is
annoyed.
it the breathing?
I got annoyed that she couldn't fold a fucking piece of clothing. And she'd get annoyed that she'd have a drink that's like been here for like 2 hours. Well, these cups are good. She should get one. And there'd be a bit of drink in there. And I'd be like cleaning up and I'd throw the drink away because it'd been there for 2 hours. And then she'd go, have you just thrown my drink away? And you're like, it's been there for 2 hours. So it'd be like little niggly things like that. Because it was lockdown and we just fucking went like this.
Yeah. I once broke up with a girl because she didn't stay in her lane at a roundabout.
Did you do it in the car?
About an hour afterwards, yeah.
Wow.
She was in the wrong lane and she cut across and I went, you know what, I can't trust you with kids in the car, so you can't stay in your lane in the roundabout. You're not going to stay in the lane in a relationship, are you?
That's like the equivalent. Do you know when a guy is sometimes having sex with a vagina and then they switch lanes and the girl goes, what are you doing? It's like...
Yeah, like she basically... what the fuck was that, Brendan? Like,
that's called a segue.
This episode's over 18 anyway. It's called a segue. I love it. It's called a segue.
Literally.
Anyway, nobody in my family's happy. It's Brennan Reece. You should call it a new show. Nobody in my family is happy.
I'm doing a show this year that's going to be because the thing that I've loved coming back from stand-up is like the crowd work element. It's not going to be a crowd work hour of going, what's your name, where you from?
Yeah.
But I'm doing like a structured crowd because I just think I've not been able to speak to people for an hour.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? You're going to be like, hi, what's your name? And they go, Paul. So, Paul, what are your fears?
Yeah. Your dad died. Like, it's Edinburgh.
No.
Play the music.
Do you trust your wife? Brennan, that's great, man. Thanks for coming in.
This has
it's
been
so nice
joy.
to have you, man. It's so nice to have you here in Belfast and chatting and just to catch up with you and have a bit of a laugh with you. And we're gigging tonight as well tonight.
Yeah, it's good.
And I'm hosting. I host the Empire every couple of weeks, and you're going to see my crowd work tonight. Are you Catholic or Protestant? Which one are you?
I thought you said cat lick then. Do you lick cats?
Yeah. Or I can't think of anything like that. No. But it's so good to have
your
you,
crowd work's going to be on.
I'm so like fucked. Oh my God, like it's crazy. But listen, Brennan Reece, ladies and gentlemen, is first time on Cork and the North podcast. I'm delighted to get him on while he was over performing in Ireland this week. It's so great. Brendan, what we'll do is we'll tag off to your usual, your tours, your shows. Are you coming to Belfast on a tour show at all?
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm touring with your friend Joe.
Joe Lycett.
So we're coming back doing his big tour.
Yeah.
I think we're doing the arena. Well, 2 nights in the... maybe it's not the arena.
I think you're doing... I'm not too sure what he's doing. I think he's doing Ulster Hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 nights there.
I think it could be... I'm not too sure. Check it out, but you're going to be on with him.
Yeah, and then I'm going to... come back and do a tour day.
Well, yeah. So I'll definitely come in and see us, and we'll all go for a beer or something.
Yeah.
I'll take us to a few pubs. I'm going to take him to Madden's. I think him and Joe will like Madden's. You have to buzz in and they have to check you out before they bring you in.
I love that.
I'm going to take you to Madden's, and then when you come in and you probably should just sit and wait and face the wall. I'm only joking. I love scaring people when they come over. This is such a peaceful area. Like it's such a peace. Like I love living here because people are just sound. And I
imagine that tour that you've just done is all bullshit.
yeah. It's just a load of lads going, let's just scare them for money, like you know. But listen, Brennan Reece, check out his tour dates on his website. We'll put a link up and everything for that. All right. So thank you for watching this episode of Cork in the North. Really do appreciate all the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and everything that you do. So thanks so much for that. Another episode next week. Cheers, guys. Brendan, thanks so much.
Buy a mug. Get a mug.
They're not for sale. But
don't buy a mug.
We're not for sale. Thank you.